Hello, and welcome to devlog 11 of Last Hope. As you can see on the screen, it's very zoomed in on the game. This is something that I am thinking would be a nice touch to add to the game if I can figure out how to link the scaling to the scroll wheel. Anyways, this week I wanted to focus on combat, so right now the hitting is a bit weird because when it is looped, it looks like there's something wrong with the code that just cuts off the animation, but no, that was just my garbage animation. I wanted to make the hitting like what is on the screen right now, where when you attack really quick, it alternates what side the hammer would swing from. So that was what I started on during this week of game development. I first started on slightly redoing the original running hit. The one that is on the screen right now is the other running hit that I made that was swinging the opposite direction. Here's what the swing from the character's right side of his body to the left side of the body looks like, and this is the opposite swing going from left side to right side of the character's body. My thinking on this when I wanted to start to make what we are referring to as the light attacks was that we should have light attacks and heavy attacks. These light and heavy attacks will also allow us to implement combos if we want to in the future. At the moment, we have the light attacks on the left mouse button and the heavy attacks on the right mouse button. The player will have to at least use 2 light attacks before they can use a heavy attack. If I want to make the combat feel really nice, I will have to make a lot of animations. So I started the 2 light attack animations for when the character is facing down, but I will still need to make a heavy attack for when the character is facing down, and 3 more for when the character is facing up. Sadly, the only reason I need to make so many animations for the character is because of the top-down view perspective that I chose to do when starting this game, because I didn't think it would be this hard. I will talk more about this later, but I think the down hitting animation turned out decently, but it could be better. A long time ago, I made the sprites for the large stone enemy that I'm showing right now, and this was the animation I had made, but didn't like it, so I deleted it. So I still needed to make a walking animation for the large stone enemy and the small stone enemy. And as I said on Discord, I was going live on Twitch, and I streamed me making the 2 animations for those enemies. So eventually, when I figure out a live streaming schedule, I will announce it in the Discord. So make sure to join the Discord, and also if you want, you can follow the Twitch channel. Both links will be in the description. Another thing I made after I did my little hour-long test stream was make a little red exclamation point. The reason for this is since we have the pathfinding stuff in the game, the enemies are set to switch between being aggroed on the character or the villagers, depending on if the character is close to the enemies or if the character is too far away, so that the enemy will go to kill the villagers rather than chase the player. So I never got to making the Spellbook weapon this week, but here is a perfectly accurate representation of what it should look like. First, the player shall enter the church and go to the pedestal where the Spellbook will be located. They'll do a good ol' yoink and walk out of the church with the Spellbook. Then when the character runs upon a group of enemies, they can target whatever one they want to attack, and when they click, the Spellbook will shoot out 2 little missile things on opposite sides that will converge on the enemy and make a little puddle around where it hits the enemy, which will do damage to the other enemies around the one that was targeted. Another thing that we did, more like Mr. Coderman did, was he fixed the trading menu from what it was doing before, where it would deactivate a trading button when there was a trader with 2 trades, but if the next trader you went to was supposed to have 3 trades, the 3rd one wouldn't show up because it was still deactivated from the previous trader interaction. We didn't know that this even existed until after our patron, an apple in a box, was testing the game and told us there was a problem because the machete disappeared when he went to buy it again after the first night. Originally, when he typed this in the patron Discord channel, we thought he meant the blacksmith died, since he said he restarted the game and it was fine. This was later found out to be a bug by my friend when he was fixing the potions, which is something else that we fixed this week. So the potions actually work now. They were useless before, but now you can get a little bit of health back. You can't get back to full health with the potions, because if you aren't missing at least the amount the potion will give you, it doesn't use it. This can be good because you can't waste a potion, but you also can't have all your health back if you're missing like 5 to 10 health. So that might be changed. I did a little bit of searching to try and figure out how to better do some top-down animation. Nice. Ran across this little blog post thing, so I looked through it, had a few things that helped. Also this right here, I want to add some sort of layering like this inside the church building. Anyways, this was something that I found that I knew about, which is the result of flipping sprites from left to right. So if you don't want your character to switch which hand they're holding their weapon in, then don't flip the animation and just draw another one. But I don't really care about this, so I will continue to flip the left and right animations for our games. This was a thing that I was talking about earlier in the video that I wanted to talk about later. So what I did want to say is, if you read this, I would say my one suggestion if you're making your first game is don't do top down. There are way too many animations you have to draw. So I would say stick to a straight on perspective like Terraria or Kingdom New Lands, because then you also have layering, which makes games look better and give more depth. I also saw this little blend tree. I would like to try out a blend tree at some point because it will make the character animator a little less cluttered, although I will not make an 8-direction one because that's a bit too much for me to animate. So I will just stick to a 4-direction top-down game. Also, they showed this clip and a program that you can use to make all of your animations in the same Aseprite file, and the program will automatically turn them into animations once you put the Aseprite file into Unity. So that's pretty cool, and I will put a link to the download to that program in the description since it works for me, but it might not work for you. Because I wanted to start making the animations for all 4 of the directions, I wanted to make the character a little bit 3D to be able to figure out how to animate the side views. But please tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me what you think about the slight 3D look of the character and whether or not I should keep it, because I can animate them as flat and it will make it easier if I don't try to make them 3D. Also, I would like to know everyone's opinion on the main character. So please make sure to leave a comment on what you think, whether it be about the main character and if that should change to a different character, like a more detailed sprite, or the 3D look, whether it should stay or not. Every comment helps with growing the channel because YouTube will recommend us more if we have lots of likes and comments. So don't hold back on the criticism. You can't hurt my feelings, and I will not be offended by what you say. So I imported them into Unity with one little click and drag of the cursor. It's so much easier. I would really recommend anybody who uses Aseprite in Unity to get the program. I then added them to the character animator and made the transitions to them. They turned out to act pretty strange in the game, but we will just need to add some more parameters so that the animator can tell which one to use when stuff is happening. It was a little glitchy, but that was all I did during this week, as well as there was some coding stuff, but there was no footage for it. So thanks so much for watching the video. I would like to thank the big boy patrons, An Apple in a Box, Dave the Week, Ducky on Quack, Grizzly, and Titan's Moons, and also the rich boy patron Michael Zhao. So if you made it to the end, please make sure to leave a comment on something to change or whatever you want to comment about. Thanks for all the support so far. Have a good day, and goodbye.